that has brought us to the end of our topic number 3. So on topic number 4, we look at internal analysis. We are saying, of course, we are just from discussing external analysis. So on the internal analysis now is where we use the tool that I was talking about on our objectives, the SWOT analysis. And SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So under the internal analysis, we have crucial aspects that we need to evaluate. And we have what we call the organizational assets, and we have what we call the organizational competencies. So on the organizational assets, we are able to look at, we are saying they include the tangible and intangible assets. So we can evaluate in terms of, when we talk about tangible, is how many of these assets can we be able to see and touch. And then we have the intangible one. So under that we have the physical assets. So we are talking about different properties and facilities, e.g. land, machinery, buildings, tools, equipments, and so on and so forth. And then we have the financial assets, the availability and access of investment finances. If we want maybe to borrow a loan, those are financial assets. Is the loan available? Creditworthiness. Creditworthiness, of course, is determined by our ability to be able to pay the credit that we have received. So if we are very poor in terms of paying the credit, we will not be termed as a creditworthy business, and definitely no one wants to be on that side, because you will be blacklisted and you will not be able to gain or get any finances. Then we have the people assets. This refers to the availability of competent employees and their ability to achieve set goals. So assets, the people, or we can also call these the human resource. They are crucial people in terms of us analyzing ourselves internally. So do we have the right personnel? Are they qualified? Do they have the required knowledge? Do they have the right education to be able to enable the business to push forward and achieve their marketing strategies? Then we have marketing assets. To develop a great marketing strategy, marketing assets are crucial. So we are talking about the website. Do we have an updated website? Remember, that is crucial because of what we were saying, we were calling marketing communication. So videos, we can have videos that enable us to be able to pass information, tell the consumers more about the product, and so on and so forth. What in terms of image and reputation, how is that? Because that is going to dictate how consumers are going to buy goods and services. Then we have market leadership in terms of our position in the market. Where are we? Those are very important assets. Then we have organizational competencies. Here we are talking about the skills and abilities that are going to enable the company to properly utilize the company's resources. So organizational competencies will include strategic competencies. So those ones are management skills that are required to be able to lead the company in the right direction. And then we also have operational competencies. So the skills that help in day-to-day running of the organization: coordination, planning, direction, supervision, and of course implementing the Salesforce set activities. Then we have what we call team competencies. Teamwork, we are saying, is very, very important. So do we have people that are able to work as a team? Because sometimes for us to be able to succeed, we need to build a team or people that are able to move together in order to realize the organization's strategies. Then we also look at the corporate level competencies. So we are saying these are skills that apply to the organization as a whole. So we have just seen we can also look at individual level, but now the opposite of individual level kind of competence is now the corporate level. So we are looking at the organization as a whole. This includes continuous organizational learning. So we need to ensure for us to continually be right in terms of corporate level competencies, we have to make sure that as an organization we are continually learning, we are continually developing ourselves. Then we have finally individual competencies. These are skills, abilities within the human resources. So these ones are for individual people, but remember, once we put now the individual competencies together, in terms of corporate level, we become very okay, and we are able to move forward as an organization. Then we have what we call the internal marketing audit. We are saying it seeks to evaluate marketing activities of the organization, and we are saying it focuses on a number of areas. So marketing strategy audit, where we evaluate an organization's current marketing objectives. So we ask ourselves, what are our marketing objectives? Maybe we have not reviewed them for quite some time, so we need to find out about them, and then we confirm whether we are achieving those particular objectives. The reason why we are doing it is that we can be able to improve and make our objectives better. And then marketing structures audit, this evaluates the organizational structure and more so on the marketing function. So we look at the marketing function. The marketing function is also what we call the marketing department. What are some of the things that we are getting right? What is it that we are getting wrong? Maybe we are understaffed, for example. We need to do something and increase our staff. And then we have also the marketing systems audit. So we are saying within this evaluation, we want to check the planning systems, the control measures, new product development. Are we able to develop new products? And are we able to improve on the existing products? And so on and so forth. Then we have the productivity audit. So we use profitability and cost effectiveness on how it impacts the market. So productivity audit, how do we measure that? We look at our profitability. Are we making any profit? Because if we are not making profit, then when we are doing this audit, we will definitely get some few things wrong, and then we get to know how to improve them. And then we have the marketing functions audit. So under this audit, we look at the marketing mix, that is the pricing policy, the distribution arrangement. When we talk about the marketing mix, we are referring to the pricing, products, promotion, place, and distribution. There is a place we have just mentioned about distribution. Then after that, we look at the innovation audit. So this part of auditing evaluates how successful the organization is able to deliver the level of innovation. So remember, for us to succeed in setting up nice strategic plans, we need to get it right in terms of marketing. Are we doing the right marketing? That's an important question to ask ourselves. And are we doing the right innovation? Because no organization will succeed and they are not innovating. So we need to make sure that we get it right in terms of innovation. And we are saying this kind of an audit is going to definitely examine whether assets and competencies are present. So we look at the organizational climate, the current one, in regard to innovation. Do we have motivated staff who are willing to innovate? Then what are hard measures of organizations' current performance in innovation? And in terms of innovation, what can we say we have been able to innovate or not? And then we look at the organization's policies and practices that are currently being used to support innovation. What are the policies that we have put in place? For us to know that an organization is definitely serious when it comes to matters innovation. We need to have the right policies in place. We can have even reward policies that we are going to benefit anyone who innovates. We can say that this is the benefit that they get. I saw a story of somebody, a person who had innovated what we call the please call me message service, and they were demanding a lot of millions from the telecommunication companies. Why? Because this guy has taken a lot of time to invest in something new. So we need to come up with motivation criteria, and we can make it a policy on how to conduct innovation. Now, when we are doing this audit, we can be able to use a number of tools. To be able to carry out the internal audit. We have what we call the value chain, a very important tool, and we are saying here the organization identifies its core and support activities that add value to the final product. And then by doing this, they evaluate these activities to reduce the cost or increase differentiation. And we are saying we have a diagram here on the value chain model. We are saying it has inbound logistics, operations, outbound. So inbound logistics, what is coming into the organization? For example, in terms of raw materials, maybe we are getting it wrong from that point. There is something that we need to do to be able to get it right. Maybe our suppliers who are bringing us the raw materials are not doing it on time. So that is a great challenge that is going to affect the operations of the business. So marketing, sales, how are we doing in terms of the sales, in terms of the service? And then we are seeing a diagram on the area that is in red, a firm's infrastructure. Do we have the right infrastructure? It can be technology, it can be communication skills. I have recently seen, for example, here in Kenya, we have different mobile service providers. We have Safaricom, we have Airtel. Now, Safaricom has become like a market leader, and they have their infrastructure in place. Now, Airtel are complaining that these guys have taken over the market, and then they want to put on proposals that they want to say that for them to have an equal market, Safaricom should allow them to use their infrastructure, their network, wherever they have set their network. They can also set theirs there, and then they share the infrastructure. But Safaricom has said no. They have already taken a lot of time and resources to be able to put the needed infrastructure. So it is quite a critical thing to be able to do. Then we have the human resources. We have just said those are the employees, the people within the organization. And then the procurement, how do we source our materials and technology. So we are saying once we make sure these things are right, you are saying we have a green here, definitely we have to realize profit. So the value chain is a great tool as we are doing auditing. Is simply answering these questions. How are we going around infrastructure, procurement, and everything else that we have mentioned there. Then we have what we call portfolio analysis. And we are saying this is used by marketers to take decisions over product market combinations. And we're also saying that the purpose of this kind of analysis is to research and compare performances of products and market combinations. And then number C, what we just mentioned on our objectives, is the SWOT analysis. So we have said it stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And we are saying it is used to identify the critical factors identified during the auditing process. This is a very, very important analysis tool, and it is commonly used in different organizations to be able to develop great strategies. So by using the SWOT, of course, we are looking ourselves as an organization. What are our strengths? What are our weaknesses? What is it that we can be able to do to improve on the strengths to improve on the weaknesses, the opportunities that are there, how do we capitalize on them, and so on and so forth.